All right, we'll get started with post-shoot-around media availability with Brittney Sykes and Candace Parker. Thank you, media, for joining us. We'll start with John W. Davis with Woodsider.
Good West Coast morning to you, Sasson. How you doing?
I commend y'all to be up this early on the West Coast.
It's a little later than some of the other ones, so it's all good. But thank you so much. So last time we talked about, it didn't matter who the opponent was. There was a certain mindset you had to have coming into this game. But it's always better when you know exactly who you're playing so you can prepare for them. So with that in mind, what is it going to take to be victorious tonight against the Connecticut Sun?
I think we just got to keep doing what we've been doing on the defensive and the offensive end. I think that if we just do the things that are the intangibles, like just giving our energy, attitude, and effort 100%, the game should go in the way we want it to go. We do that, we get to dictate the game, and that's what we're looking to do.
Go over to Brady Klopfer with SB Nation.
Brittney, this has obviously been a very unique and bizarre season for a million different reasons, but with only having a 22-game regular season and whatnot, how do you feel about the team's level of readiness going into the postseason? Are you comfortable with where you are? Does this feel like where you wanted to be when the season started?
I mean, yeah, we knew coming into the season what we were capable of. We knew that with the pieces that were acquired off season and the pieces that we still have, we knew we had a championship caliber team. And we found that chemistry. We went on our runs during this regular season. And the ultimate goal is to make sure that we're well and ready and prepared for a postseason. And I think we did a great job of doing that as a team.
We'll go over to Brendan Clean with Forbes.
Brittney, I'm curious, normally with having the higher seed in this game, you guys would be at home. Has that crossed your mind at all this morning or throughout this week of what difference it'll be to not get to host this game and be in front of those fans?
Personally, no, not really. If you think about it, we've been playing with no fans all season, and I mean, every game is a home game at this point. If you think about it, it's where your mind is at, where your heart is at. So, no, I don't think that we're missing anything. Of course, it'll be a plus to have fans, to have our fans in the stands, but they're not. And that's something that we got out of our heads before this even started, because we know that with the pandemic, there's no people in the stands. So, yeah.
Chantel Jennings, The Athletic.
Not recently, but the 2 days where
Brittney, we've talked so much this season about kind of the pace of the games. It's game, day off, game, day off. Earlier this week, Sandy Brondello, the Phoenix coach, said, she was like, we had 3 days off and it was kind of like we came in and it was too much time off mentally. Like we had gotten so used to playing so often that the 3 days kind of messed with their head a little bit. How do you make sure you guys get off to a fast start tonight?
I mean, just doing what we've been doing, honestly. Coming out strong, dictating the defense, and I mean, days off, days on, whether or not we're playing or not, it's just that mindset of preparing. Fish told us when we had our 3-day break, or whenever we had like 2 or 3 days in a row off, to start preparing mentally. You don't have to be on the court, but just start preparing mentally. So if we just keep doing that and we just keep preparing, to just control what we can control, then we'll be just fine.
Last question for Brittney will go to Drew Ivory with Next Hoops. Drew, are you there?
and I was like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, that's good, Brittney. Thank you so much.
All right, E.
We'll start with Michelle Vopel, ESPN.
Candace, if I could ask you a little bit of a big picture question with the regular season completed and into the playoffs, what is your feeling about how the bubble has worked, both for the players and then also what do you think it's meant to the fans, to people to be able to watch? Do how big of a success would you say that the whole thing has been?
I will be the first to admit I was very skeptical when this scenario was first proposed, but have been pleasantly surprised at the ability for a number of sports leagues to pull it off. I think the NBA and the WNBA have kind of been at the top of that, of it being successful, of it giving, I kind of approach it two ways. One, as an analyst, like I'm as a fan, I'm so excited the NBA is back, to be able to watch it and to give fans something to watch. And then as a player, to see the fans and the amount of people that are tuning in. And, I think it would have been terrible if we didn't have a season. And so I commend, the WNBA for putting this together. I mean, obviously there's been some hiccups and some things that we've had to work through, but I think a lot of people doubted that we would even be in the playoffs at this point. And we've gotten to this point, and I think everybody's done a great job.
Adam Grossbart, LA Daily News.
Candace, the other day you mentioned the chance to win a championship is the type of thing that wakes you up at night. So just mentally, how different is the preparation on game day for the first playoff game? What's going through your mind, et cetera?
I think it's just a point where you just have to trust your training and trust the preparation. And I think you kind of get lost in the regular season of the game after game after game, and you lose sight of all the sacrifices and things that you've done to get to this point. We deserve to be in this position. I know there's a number of times, number of years, number of players, number of teams that would love to play in playoff games. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think people played in 25, 26 games, playoff games in their career. So with that being said, this is one of a highlight, right? This is what people play for.
Chris Camello, Nightfall Media.
Good morning, Candace. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
I wanted to get your reaction. You were named the AP Defensive Player of the Year, and I remember weeks back, if not a month, you talked about how if you were to win, get an accolade like that to add to your illustrious career, that would be top shelf. I just wanted to know if you still feel that, even getting it from the AP, from the national media voters.
Honestly, all I could think of was Coach Summit. I think she is so proud, not just defensively, but rebounding. I can hear it. Offense sells tickets, defense wins games, rebounding wins championships, and that is echoed in my ear every day since I played for her. And so I think just to be able to, have that on the mantle. Obviously within my family, they all have jokes about me playing on the offensive end, but I can be like, nah, look at this now.
We'll go to Pepper Pursley with Next Hoops.
Hi, Candace. Thank you for your time. Congratulations on winning the AP's Defensive Player of the Year award. Winning awards like that is a personal honor, but also a reflection on the team. Can you discuss how this award reflects the defense that you and your teammates played this season?
Well, first and foremost, it definitely reflects the team, but it also reflects the defensive coordinator. And Coach Trammell, she's been amazing, just helping build that side of the floor. And then from a team standpoint, I think about, just how we've grown in this bubble together, defensively, how my teammates have encouraged me and pushed me and drove me to be better on that end. And then, I played with Elena Beard for many years, and just to watch her tenacity on that end of the floor. I played with a couple defensive players of the year, and Lisa Leslie and Elena Beard. So to me, I think I've been lucky to be able to learn from those people and then play alongside some great defenders.
Time for a couple more here. We'll go to Brady Klopp for SB Nation.
Candace, obviously your team looks quite a bit different than they did last year, and Connecticut's team looks pretty dramatically different than they did last year. But with the way the 2019 season ended for you, for your team, is it on your mind that that's who you're playing here in this first game, that you get a chance for a little revenge or extra motivation, or is it really just next team up, opponent doesn't matter?
I mean, I'd like to say it's the next team up. Obviously we struggled with Connecticut last year. Everybody knows the way 2019 ended. And I think sometimes life throws things like this at you, to see what you've learned and to see, if you've evolved, if you've changed, if you've grown, if you've done the things that you said you were going to do at the time. So, I mean, I'd lie to you if I said I didn't have that in my mind a little bit, but they didn't have DB. They didn't have, Grand January. They were playing a different style. We're playing one game. So there are some differences, but we're not going to make excuses. Both teams are going to go out and try to win, and we're going to do our best to make sure it's us.
Two more. Christina Williams, Girls Talk Sports.
Hi, Candace. How are you? My question is, this week we saw what happened with Dan McNeil and Maria Taylor, and the NBA Countdown family, I guess, standing behind her and sticking up for her. As someone who is an analyst and an athlete, what's your thoughts on the way that women in sports are portrayed or treated?
Of course, I've reached out to Maria. I've posted about it. It's ridiculous, the scrutiny that women commentating sports go through. And I'll just be honest with you. When you look at the camera, you immediately look at not what they're saying, but what they're wearing and their appearance. And at what point, either we got to change the way we look at women, or we got to start scrutinizing guys. And I don't think it's the latter. I'm proud of people standing behind her. But at the same time, there's so much ignorance in the world. And I think it's nowadays you're not able to hide from it, and it's becoming clear and apparent. And the people that choose to ignore it and say it's not there are lying to themselves, and they're delaying what's going to happen. I always say this: if you don't like my commentating, talk about my commentating. Do not come at me and say this woman. Don't like me because of what I say or my viewpoints, things like that. Don't shout kitchen jokes, and don't talk about what I'm wearing, and don't immediately use me being a woman as some sort of, negative comment. And I think we have a long way to go. And there's some people that are going to be behind. And, the world is constantly moving forward, so you better get on the train.
Last question, John W. Davis, Winsider.
Good West Coast morning to you, Candace. How you feeling?
Good morning.
Good morning. I like that mask you got on.
Thank you. It's like really hot though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I understand. So you will have, there's always a balance in every game. You have a balance between your individual matchups you're going to have, the overall team matchups, and everything like that. How can you, not necessarily just get sucked into, say, going up against one player when it's going to take everyone to win this game?
I don't think our team does that. We don't need to do that. I think we're better collectively. We're going to make the right play. And at this point in time, we got to trust the work that we've put in. I think it was, who was it? Greg Popovich talked about appropriate fear. I think that there is an appropriate fear and respect that you have to have for your opponent. And you don't answer that call by trying to go at them individually. You respect them, but you still have to play within the team. And, I prided myself on that, on playing within the team, making the correct and right play. Because I think if you continue to make the correct and right play, then the outcome will be in your favor.
Thank you so much, Candace.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining media. We will send out a link to this morning's press conference, and head coach Derek Fisher will be available approximately 2 hours before game time. Thank you.